Tom MacDonald. Never heard this one. Sad rappers.
Hey.
Yeah, because we just started listening to him, I think.
Music industry was the first one.
Yeah. So, like, it hasn't even been a year since we've been listening to him. We'll see what you got here with Sad Rappers.
He's got a lot of Tylenol.
Where'd all these suicidal sad rappers come from? They showed up with those mumble rapper dum-dums. They've been preying on people with mental illness and pretending to relate to get paid in creative business. They claim to be anxious, say they're depressed. They're faking it to gain something in common with some fans for a check. It's overdiagnosed, so it's becoming a trend to say you're crazy or insane or that you're sick in the head. They romanticize the mental pain we're barely surviving, and then they glorify the men and women losing their lives. I'm talking Cobain, Lil Peep, Winehouse, Jackson, Williams, Cornell, Bennington. Imagine all the icons that we buried probably turning in their graves that they could witness how the sickness getting used to get paid. These rappers fabricating symptoms for fame. Their mental illness is the money on their mind. It's how they rotting their brains, yeah.
I love what he's saying, but at the same time, a part of me thinks that, like, these artists that are singing about, like, being sad, like, I really think that they're going through it too.
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends, right? Like, I don't look at it, like, as a whole. I look at it more, like, independently. I think some rappers just are really like that, and they use that emotional pain and their struggle and their addictions, and they just vocalize it. And I think I'm sure there are artists that just put on a front. It's the same thing with hip hop, right? Like, everyone in hip hop is like a drug dealer and a gangster, and they all shoot guns. But realistically, there's only a small percentage of them that are authentically like that outside of music. And I think it's the same thing with those rappers. I think there's a percentage of them that are actually like that, and then there's a large percentage that use it because they see there's a market for it. Like, I don't know, obviously, like, who's who, but I think someone like, obviously, like Juice WRLD, he died from overdosing, right? So, like, what he said in his music seems to correlate with his actual life, right? So, like, I don't know, I can't speak on most rappers, obviously, but I think there are probably some that are using it just because, like I said, there's a market for it and they want to get paid. And I think there are some that's just what they do. They vocalize it. Similar to, like, NF, like, he vocalizes his emotions. So, yeah.
Rappers fabricating symptoms for fame. Their mental illness is the money on their mind. It's how they rotting their brains, yeah. Y'all ain't real, from the chains to the gear to the grills. Now it's pain, talking tears, taking pills. Y'all ain't real, I can see it in your eyes, all lies. Y'all guys don't know how we feel. Y'all ain't real enough to deal with us, don't feel the love, nah, 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 nah. Y'all just make believe, you claim to be the same as me. Nah, 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 nah. People die from depression, these rappers cry for attention, and it's in every single genre you could possibly mention. From pop to electronic to rock to indie to grunge, they're trying to hook you into using the music like it's a drug. Get you addicted to artists they manufacture to target all other people in therapy trying to deal with their hardships. Crafted and marketed till they had you convinced that if you follow that person they make you fine in your skin. They ain't really trying to help you, they don't want to make you better. It's a lie they're trying to sell you, so you always buy the records. If you want to know the truth, they want you struggling forever, so you look to them for answers with your Visa or your debit. It's
Wow, that's a really good point that I never really, I never looked at it that way. Like, if you start, it's weird. It's just like the pharmaceutical industry, right? Like, if you, like, realistically, if everyone was to just stop taking pharmaceuticals and start to deal with things in a more natural way, the pharmaceutical industry would get crushed. So, like, it's why they have all these treatments. There's a lot of things aren't curable. There's a lot of treatments. So there's treatments for fucking everything, right? Like, because they know it's continuous.
Yeah. It's like the idea of feeling satiated, right? Like, it's enough to keep you wanting more, but it's not enough to feel satisfied.
Right. Which is addiction at its core.
Yeah.
The fact that you have to keep going back to it.
Yeah.
I like that point.
records. If you want to know the truth, they want you struggling forever, so you look to them for answers with your Visa or your debit. It's like the record labels working for pharma that made anxiety trendy by using popular artists that used the rappers to promote prescription pills to the audience. They created the problem to sell you pills that would solve them. It's brilliant. Y'all ain't real, from the chains to the gear to the grills. Now it's pain, talking tears, taking pills. Y'all ain't real, I can see it in your eyes, all lies. Y'all guys don't know how we feel. Y'all ain't real enough to deal with us, don't feel the love, nah, 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 nah. Y'all just make believe, you claim to be the same as me, nah, 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 nah. exploiting our problems to benefit. They just wanna get paid. I spend all my money on medicine. Spend all your money on chains. Y'all just exploiting the misery. Popping Xannies to fade. Well, I'm throwing ones into therapy. Cause all I know is rain. Y'all ain't real, from the chains to the gear to the grills. Now it's pain, talking tears, taking pills. Y'all ain't.
And I like the character, right? Which is his character, but like the character in the video where like he's essentially a mental patient. That's why he has the straitjacket, right? So he's speaking as a mental patient, exposing rappers that may or may not be as mentally ill as he is, right? So I like that's because obviously like someone who's been through a struggle can see if someone's actually been through the struggle or if they're just trying to put on that facade, you know, like you can tell when someone's authentic and when someone's not. So I like the video.
Y'all ain't real, from the chains to the gear to the grills. Now it's pain, talking tears, taking pills. Y'all ain't real, see it in your eyes, all lies. Y'all guys don't know how we feel. Y'all ain't real enough to deal with us, don't feel the love, nah, 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 nah. Y'all just make believe, you claim to be the same as me. Nah, 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 nah. Y'all ain't real, from the chains to the gear to the grills. Now it's pain, talking tears, taking pills. Y'all ain't real, see it in your eyes, all lies. Y'all guys don't know how we feel. Y'all ain't real enough to deal with us, don't feel the love, nah, 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 nah. Y'all just make believe, you claim to be the same as me. Nah, 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 nah.
And you notice he was like the only one that could see through it as that person in that position, while everyone else was just like experiencing it. Like he was experiencing it, but he was also seeing through the bullshit.
Yeah.
And I think that was like the significance of him having those contacts.
That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard, like, because there's always someone behind the curtains trying to manipulate, you know, and music is a great way to manipulate if that's what you want to do, you know, because like these artists have more of a following than most people throughout history, you know, like if you're an artist, like your reach is far more than any political figure.
Yeah.
And it's not even a comparison. It's not even close, you know, so it makes a lot of sense. Like a political figure would want to use athletes and musicians if that was the case, which is something they've done.
Yeah.
That they do all the time. So I like this song.
No, I love his thoughts on this song, and I think it's important to hear this out because I notice like how I feel when I listen to really sad music. I feel even more sad.
Yeah.
And like I can't blame the artist for coming out with the song because that's how they feel. But I think the issue is like people listening to it and feeling even more depressed.
Yeah.
Because the song is depressing.
Like I don't have an issue with rappers like sharing their experiences. Like we're all humans. We all want to share experiences. So I don't think all rappers are sharing their experiences like with the idea that, oh, you're going to go do drugs too because I said I was doing drugs or I overdosed, right? I think it's just like just because you share something, I don't think it's always used to manipulate. I think some people just like to share experiences. Like, again, like Lil Peep, right? Like his music is very emo, like emo pop. I don't even know how it's categorized, but like I appreciate the experience he's sharing.
Yeah.
Right? Whether you could relate to it or not, whether you imitate him or not, that's completely up to you as a listener.
Right.
So you have to look at it both ways. But I like how he sheds light on these rappers.
Yeah.
And the topics, which are important. Like if you're like if I had a kid, like I'd be worried if my kid was listening to straight up Lil Peep and like XXX Tentacion. You know, like not that they're negative, but like I'd just be worried if that's all they listen to. But like if you just listen to a large variety, then I wouldn't be as concerned, I think, because that means like you're gravitating towards that for a reason.